Number 7. 18th century horror. Most of us just want a job we love, maybe something chill we can bond with friends over. But then there's always that kid in class, the one dead set on chasing demons for a living. That's Dark Ghost for you, the kind who looks at an abandoned demon-infested building and thinks, yeah, that's where I'm spending my evening. This time, he's taking on an ancient evil at a lost settlement, rumoured to be behind a string of unexplainable deaths back in the 18th century. But after this one, a career change might be on the table.
Резко свет. Все, батарея разряжена. Только включил.
Creepy, right? Well, keep your spare pants close, because it's only getting started. You see, this site dates back to the 18th century, when singing in circles around a hanging body was basically a Friday night pastime. Well, let's just say that in Russia, suffocation was a trendy way to go out back then. The house itself, once home to a guy who found a human-like figure next to a painting chilling in his fields. Now, any sane person would have chucked that thing straight back where it came from, but nope. This genius decided it would make the perfect home decor. Shockingly, things went downhill fast. His new ghostly tenant had a habit of leaving dead animals lying around. Soon, every single one of his livestock dropped dead, under mysterious circumstances. And did this guy take the hint? Nope. He kept living there like he wasn't next on the menu. We all know how that story ends. God rest his very slow soul. Fast forward to today, a paranormal investigation team on YouTube decided to stir the pot, using every ghost hunting gadget in their arsenal. And in true horror movie fashion, mission failed successfully. Instead of getting answers, they just pissed off the spirits so much so that it straight up threatened their lives.
Дай мне знак, если ты меня слышишь.
After one too many signs that he wasn't invited to the ghostly cookout, our investigator finally decided to stomp his heels and get the hell out. But whatever was lurking in the shadows wasn't ready to say goodbye just yet. Out of nowhere, Dude gets yanked into the air, gripping his throat like some invisible force is trying to choke the life out of him. And then, radio silence. No voice, no explanation, just a mirror with some weird ass marking scratched onto it. Someone really needs to check on him, because after getting yeeted by a ghost, we wouldn't blame him for reconsidering his life choices, or at least taking a long ass break from ghost hunting. Number 6. Wicked Witch. You know when you're watching footage that feels wrong. Not because of what's in focus, but because of what slips by without anyone noticing until it's too late. This clip comes from a late night road tunnel camera, and let's just say, if the people watching live had clocked what went past, they probably would have shut the whole thing down. Watch this carefully, you might miss it the first time. This clip was posted by the Twitter account Unexplained Videos, with the caption, "What was that?" And honestly, yeah, good question. At first glance, it looks like just another quiet street at night. A couple of cars idling, nothing to scream about. But then, something massive and pitch black glides past the security camera, hovering just above the road, moving at a steady pace like it knew exactly where it was going. It didn't flap. It didn't fall. It didn't make a sound. Whatever that was, it wasn't shaped like anything you'd expect in the middle of the night. Unless your expectations involve a demon on night patrol or some gothic cosplayer levitating home from rehearsal. Some are clinging to the idea that it was just an Elphaba heading home from the club. Others, still stuck staring at the screen, wondering how close that thing came to scraping someone off the sidewalk. All we know is, whatever that was, it was real, and it was there. What do you think was flying over those cars? Or more importantly, what was it looking for? Number 5. Late Night Stalker. Some people chase clout, others chase adrenaline. This guy, he's chasing things that don't even breathe right. In the dead of night, he charges into darkness after something unexplainable. No backup, no flashlight, just a camera and a death wish. Posted by FreeAMR, a channel that basically makes horror a lifestyle. This clip is the definition of "I've made a huge mistake." He creeps through a maze of abandoned buildings like he's haunting trauma on purpose. And as the breathing gets heavier, the air thicker, something lets him know he's not alone. Watch this.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله بسم الله بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وش ذا؟
As he keeps creeping through the unfinished parts of the building, something catches his eye. A shimmering in the dark. He pans his torch across the concrete, and there it is, something humanoid. Lurking just a few steps away, its glowing eyes locked onto him like some giant predatory cat. Only this thing was the size of a full-grown man, and definitely not purring. Tall, dark-skinned, and clearly not thrilled about being spotted, the creature just stares from the corner like it's sizing him up for dinner. So naturally, our guy charges straight at it. Yep, full sprint, straight at the monster, in its own domain. He never catches it, obviously, just ends up deeper in the belly of the building, with nothing but shaky breath and a whole lot of regret.
حطينا في بيت مكتوب. وش ذا؟ تشوفون؟ في شيء يتحرك هناك. في شيء يتحرك. بسم الله. تشوفون؟ بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وشو هذا؟ هذا كل لمبة بس. بسم الله. بسم الله. ما أدري وشو. بقرب له. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله. بسم الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله. بسم الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله. كان في شيء موقف. أنا تهيأ لي. بسم الله. اللي كان هناك بنفس المكان اللي قبل شوي جاء هنا. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أحس في أحد هنا. هذه الفتحة قبل شوي جيت معها. بسم الله. بسم الله. هذا كان غريب مرة. ها تشوفون؟ بسم الله. تشوفون؟ بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله. كم ورا هنا طيب؟ بسم الله. أبى أقرب من الله. بسم الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله. بسم الله. بسم الله. في صوت هنا. بسم الله. وين اختفى؟ بسم الله.
Just when he thought it was over, he spotted it again, glowing eyes staring from a half-built structure, still as ever, watching. He tried talking, maybe hoping to make sense of it.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله. بسم الله.
But the second he got too close, it vanished. He searched the building top to bottom, but there was no one there. Then, just as he stepped outside, he saw another one, same glowing stare. This time, from across the street, he turned around, and yet another pair of eyes was now in the building he had just left. That was his cue. Whatever these things were, they were ready to do something scary. Would you stay to find out? Yeah, no chance. Number 4. Broken spirits. Maybe humans aren't the only ones who enjoy a stiff drink, because either we just caught a spirit getting drunk off fumes, or we just watched an invisible force try to commit a felony. Take a look and decide which version you actually sleep with tonight. This one was posted to Reddit by Daisy Loved O'Herty, who swears her friend's guardian angel was working overtime that day. The footage, sent to her by the friend in question, and it's the kind of clip that leaves you wondering whether a spirit was thirsty or just out for blood. captured by an indoor security camera at a store. The video shows the guy, possibly a staff member, casually strolling past the alcohol shelf. Seconds later, glass shatters and bottles go flying like something snapped from the inside. But here's the kicker, the man barely reacts. Like his guardian angel just yanked him out of the way and he didn't even notice. So, what was the entity really after? A sip of whiskey or a manslaughter charge? You tell us. Number 3. Cornfield Tragedy. When it comes to paranormal hotspots, few places rival sites where entire families were wiped out under horrific circumstances. The kind of places where the air still feels heavy, like it's holding on to something it can't let go. If you ever find yourself walking into one of those houses, just know you might not be walking out alone. This next clip is exactly the kind of footage that makes you think twice about setting foot in a place like that. The Mindseed TV team were called to investigate what they now call one of the most haunted homes they've ever stepped into, and trust us, they've seen some wild stuff. This time, it was a cornfield barn turned into nightmare fuel, where the current residents have been plagued by voices and shadowy figures. Honestly, we'd have just sold the place and moved to Ibiza. But hey, they called in the experts instead. The property's history? Beyond grim. The original family who lived there were brutally ended in their own home. So brutal, in fact, the team claimed the full details were too graphic for YouTube. Human remains were scattered across the cornfield, like whoever was responsible couldn't even be bothered to dig proper graves. Just dump them in the dirt and walk away. Now tell us that doesn't leave behind something angry.
At this location. Alright, so they said that we'd be able to get in the back.
This looks way different than that.
Yeah, it does. Those cornfields are creepy. Hello?
Yo, what the fuck? Look over there on the left.
What?
Look what those are.
What the fuck, dude?
Yo,
Hey, that is moving all over the fucking place.
There's multiple cabinet doors moving. The drawers were twitching on either side of it.
That's insane.
You hear that?
Yeah, I did, dude.
Whoa. You fucking see that? Hello? Dude, there might be somebody here. Hello? Let me see the EMF detector.
I got the lot of this.
What the fuck, man?
I mean, they must want us to go up.
What did it say?
As we were heading upstairs,
From the moment they stepped inside, the spirits made it loud and clear. They weren't welcome. Cabinet doors flung themselves open, swinging like they were caught in a ghostly tantrum.
It's moving all over the fucking place.
there's multiple cabinet doors moving.
And the team? Yeah, they were already in nope mode. But that was just the warm-up. Soon, their EMF detector started lighting up like a Christmas tree, and strange muffled voices began bleeding through. The team tried to make sense of the whispers, but whatever was trying to speak wasn't exactly in the mood for polite conversation.
Hello? It's like a fucking hidden door and a fucking hidden door.
Oh my god. What was that?
Hello? It's like a fucking hidden door and a fucking hidden door.
Oh my god. What was that? Hello?
Dude, my fucking heart is pounding.
Yeah, mine too, dude.
Pounds, angle, guy.
Oh man. Hello? Just move the light real quick. I'm opening the door. If there's anybody in here? Hello? Hello? What the fuck, dude? You smell that, right?
Yeah.
Smells like that rotten smell, dude.
Ooh.
It's something that's bad.
Oh, bro. It's...
This might be a good spot to. Yeah.
Things escalated fast. Just as they approached one of the doors, it slammed shut with force, right in front of their faces. Their communicator kept spewing strange names and directions that made absolutely no sense. Up in the attic, they were hit with the stench of something rotten. Hopefully, it was a spirit and not something more recent. But instead of leaving like anyone with an ounce of sense would have done, they pulled out an Ouija board. They asked if the spirit was there with them, and the reply came through loud and clear: arrived. Still, they kept going. The planchette began to move, spelling out black wings, a chilling match to the ones they found downstairs. And then came the final word: body. A rotten stench, wings, and now a message from the other side spelling out body. Yeah, nothing suspicious at all about that.
Someone was like trying to flip me out of bed, and it startled me, obviously, and I ran out the room. And looking back at the footage, you could see that the door from the trapdoor where we heard the boom earlier actually opened right before all that shit went down.
I was awoken by Tanner. Tanner came running into the room saying that some shit was happening in his room.
After a string of paranormal chaos, the team decided, against all logic, to spend the night in the house. Bad idea. One of them had his entire bed yanked from beneath him, sending him bolting out of the room like his life depended on it. Sleeping in a house drenched in that kind of darkness, that's not bravery, that's insanity with night vision. They didn't cleanse the place, they didn't free any tortured souls, but they did get a front row seat to the nightmare that still lives inside the cornfield house. And if the bodies were never truly found, maybe they never really left. Number 2. Play with me. This little girl seems to have made a new friend, but not the kind you want hanging around. Her family captured the unnerving moments on camera, something following her around the house like it had nowhere else to be. They've tried to laugh it off, but when a ghost starts acting clingy, that's when it stops being cute and starts being a serious problem. In this footage posted by Unusual Things, a little girl is seen chilling with her dolls like it's just another normal day, but before long, the doll next to her starts turning its head side to side, slowly, like it wanted attention. Too bad the girl was busy smacking the life out of another doll on the floor, like it owed her lunch money, probably for the best that the other one stayed seated. But things escalated in the second clip. This time, she's at a table, focused on some papers, until they suddenly launch straight at her with zero wind, zero warning. She clocks it immediately and bolts out the room. And that's when the tantrum kicked off. Papers go flying, chairs get rattled. It's like the spirit wasn't just ignored, it was offended. Hopefully, it finds another hobby soon, because haunting toddlers ain't it. Number 1. He's watching. You ever watch a home video and get that weird feeling that something's wrong? Not because of what's happening up front, but because of what's lurking in the background. This clip starts off all smiles, like your average family moment, but behind the laughter, there's someone, something that doesn't quite belong. Watch this.
Aí, fim da festa aí, pessoal. Comprei a câmera nova, vamos colocar um vídeo no YouTube aí, ó.
Ai, que vergonha, não faz isso.
A Josi capotada já, com sono. Aí, Thiago, a câmera que eu comprei nova aí.
Bebeu demais.
Vermelhinha e tal. Vocês nem esperaram pra festa aí, né, mano? Meu Deus do céu, que porra é essa, velho? Mano, eu vi alguma coisa aqui, Thiago. Tem alguma coisa que passou aqui, velho.
Ih, velho.
Tô falando sério, cara. Tô falando sério. Vem aqui comigo, cara.
Tem nada aqui não.
Eu vi uma coisa assim, cara.
Tá louco, mano?
Maluco. Maluco. Eu vou voltar a câmera. Eu vou voltar a câmera e você vai ver, velho.
The video kicks off like any other happy home clip. People chatting in Portuguese, laughing, just vibing. From what we can gather, it's likely filmed in Brazil. Could be friends, could be family. Doesn't really matter. What matters is what happens next. Because just as the camera pans towards a hallway, something's off.
Mano, eu vi alguma coisa aqui, Thiago. Tem alguma coisa que passou aqui, velho.
Out of nowhere, a figure, an older man, barely lit, walks across the corridor and vanishes into the darkness like a glitch in reality. The person filming screams like he just saw his sleep paralysis demon clocking in for the night shift.
Tô falando sério, cara. Tô falando sério. Vem aqui comigo, cara.
But instead of legging it, he does the most unhinged thing possible. Charges straight after it, calling the others to follow like it's some horror house tour. When they reach the hallway, dead end, no exit, no hiding spots, nothing. Whoever or whatever that man was, he didn't just walk away, he disappeared. And sometimes the scariest part of a haunting is knowing it doesn't have to knock, it already knows how to get in.